Yes. Are you ready to listen to a story?
Yes.
All right. So once upon a time, in the land of Orissa, a long time ago, there was a kingdom called Judagadh. What was it called?
Judagadh.
In this kingdom of Judagadh, there lived a king. This king was a very nice king. He was a very good king. He kept his people happy. The people were happy. His granary was full. His treasury was full. He had a strong army behind him. He had a very intelligent set of ministers to guide him. And he also had 2 queens. How many?
2 queens.
2 queens. Everything was going on very nicely for this kingdom, except for one small thing. Can you guess? Bingo! They did not have kids, even though they had 2 queens. The king had 2 queens, and he had decided 2 was enough. You know it's so problematic with 1. He had 2. I'm not having any more queens, and he did not want to adopt. So everybody was worried. What will happen to the kingdom? The ministers were tense. All the people were tense. In front of the king, of course, they put up a good face and everything was fine. But behind there were murmurs. What will happen to our kingdom? So the king decided something's got to be done. Something drastic's got to be done. He had tried all the medicine men and everything from far and wide. He said, all right, I can't do this. Let me issue a proclamation. So he called his messengers and he told them, go far and wide. Go to all the places in our kingdom and beyond and make this proclamation. Tell everyone that whosoever can help my queens and me have a child, have a heir to the throne, I am ready to give that person half my kingdom. How much? And for good measure, he threw in 10 big pots of gold and jewels. How many? 10. I want you to say it like me. 10 big pots of gold and jewels. So the messengers came with their drums and they went far and wide and they banged on their drums and they said, listen, listen, listen. The king has issued a proclamation. Whosoever can heal the queens and help the king and queen have a heir to the throne, the king is going to give them and listen. The messengers went, the news spread. Now outside of this kingdom, there was a set of hills. Among those hills was one particular hill called Kangura Dongar. What was it called?
Kangura Dongar.
On that hill lived a man called Kalia Danu. What was he called?
Kalia Danu.
Now to the world, he was a hermit, he was an ascetic, but you know, he was nothing like that. He was a cannibal. And the news reached Kalia Danu. His ears went up. What is the king offering?
10 big
And hey guys, you have to put up your hands. 10 big pots of gold and jewels. Kalia Danu listened to this, but the kingdom didn't interest him. Neither did the 10 big pots of gold and jewels. But something else. He saw an opportunity. Queens! He said, I've eaten farmers and woodcutters and what-nots, but queens I've never had. I wonder how they taste. And then Kalia Danu thought, queens. Where do the queens live? In the palace. And in the palace, there is an absolutely magical place called the kitchen. And in that kitchen, there are these lovely dishes that get cooked. What do you think gets cooked in the royal kitchen? What? Like what? Give me the names of those dishes. Biryani, now you're talking. Biryani and sweets is too generic. Kebabs and rasmalai and jalebi and laddus. And all of these dishes, do you think they're using ordinary material? Oh no! The finest of ingredients, the kajus and the dry fruit and the malai, and it's so rich. And these queens eating this rich food. I wonder, thought Kalyadhan, how would the queens taste? I don't know the taste. So Kalyadhanu sent his own messenger down to the king. The messenger came and told the king, "Oh king, do you know there's this great man Kalyadhanu right here outside on Kanguda Dongar, and he says he can help you." The king said, "All right then, call him. Let us start the process." "Oh no, he is not an ordinary man, and he will not come here." Then, so the queens have to go there. Okay, and the queens have to go to Kalyadhanu, and Kalyadhanu says the queens will have to stay with him. Okay, for how long? 6 days and 6 nights. How many?
6 days and 6 nights.
Now the king had tried everything. He was desperate. He said, "All right, fine." So he put his hands together and he called the
Queens.
the guards.
The queens.
Who said that? Palanquin bearers. This was a long time ago. Palanquin bearers, and they had to go up a hill. So the palanquin bearers came, not one but two, and out came the queens. So the king said, "All right, please go up to Kanguda Dongar and start this whatever medicine process, and I will see you after 6 days and 6 nights." So the queen said bye-bye, and they sat down in the palanquin. Now, have you ever carried palanquins? No. Have you seen palanquin bearers? Do you know they were very prominent in India?
Yes.
And they had these, you know what are palanquins?
Yes.
They are these box things with 2 bamboo poles, and you pick them on the shoulder. And do you know those palanquin bearers used to say something? What? What?
No idea.
Have you heard of? Yes. Oh my gosh. You know the palanquin bearers, huh? So they say Hayya, and the people behind answer
Ho.
Ho or Hayya.
Yeah.
Why would they do this?
For the coordination.
Rhythm?
Breathing coordination.
Coordination, of course, because you have
Have to balance.
maybe 2 people behind who have absolutely no clue where they are walking, because all they see is a big box. So the front people have to communicate, and here's your communication design to the people behind. Let us quickly help our palanquin bearers go uphill. Would you like to do that? Yes? Alright, so I will be the palanquin bearer in front, and all of you will be the palanquin bearer behind. Right? So let's give you an experience of going up the hill. Kanguda Dongar. Ready?
Yeah.
Come on, take the palanquins on your shoulders. You've all eaten. You're all nice and strong. Come on, let's take it. Okay, shall we go? Alright. Hayya! 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 Queens are heavy. Shall we go a little faster? Okay. Hayya! 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 Said our palanquin bearers, and up Kanguda Dongar they went. And sitting on the top of Kanguda Dongar was Kalyadhanu. His mouth was watering. He was salivating already. Oh my God, some delicious dinner is coming up. And there they come. Hayya. And very soon our palanquin bearers were so strong, they reached up Kanguda Dongar. And the queens put their dainty little feet outside the palanquin. Kalyadhanu's eyes lit up, for indeed they were plump. No sooner the palanquin bearers went, Kalyadhanu took those 2 queens into his hermitage, his hut, and he swooped on them and ate them up. Both the queens. And then his tummy became nice and big. And after you have a nice, satisfying meal, for the queens were indeed very delicious, what happens to you?
Sleepy.
You feel sleepy. And that is exactly what happened to Kalya Danu. He yawned, and he stretched, and he lay down, and he went to sleep. And he slept, and he slept, and he slept for 6 days and 6 nights. On the 7th day, the palanquin bearers came up to Kanguda Dongar. They knocked on the door. Kalya Danu woke up, and then he remembered the queens. But where were the queens? In his tummy. So he opened the door and he told the palanquin bearers, the work is not done, come after 3 days. So off went the palanquin bearers, and they came back after another 3 days. They knocked on the door. Kalya Danu went and said, the work is not done, come after another 3 days. Now when this happened for the 3rd time, the king grew suspicious. Something's not right. You get this gut feeling. Something has happened. You get this terrible feeling. Something has happened, and the king knew there was something terribly, terribly wrong. So he decided to go himself. So he took a small platoon of soldiers with him, and he began marching up Kanguda Dongar. Dum, 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 dum. The platoon and the king went up, up, up Kanguda Dongar. Sitting on top of Kanguda Dongar, Kalya Danu was watching. Up, up, up the hill came the king and his men. Behind, 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 to the back of his house went Kalya Danu. He crouched and he waited. And soon enough, there was a knock on the door. Did Kalya Danu open it? No, of course not. They knocked a 2nd time and a 3rd time, and then the king had the door broken. He rushed inside with his men, and he saw not the queens, but their saris, their jewelry, and then some books. The king put 2 and 2 together, and was he angry? He was so angry, he pulled out his sword and he said, Kalya Danu, I'm going to get you. Kalya Danu was terrified. He had reached the very back of his door, of his house. He couldn't go anywhere, but there was a door. So he opened the door, and behind Kanguda Dongar was a dense, thick forest. Into that forest ran Kalya Danu. He ran for his dear life. Hot in pursuit were the king and his men. Kalya Danu ran as fast as his life could take him, as fast as his legs could take him. He ran this way and that. He jumped over small streams. He went under bushes. The king and his men were fighting and running behind him. Kalya Danu ran and ran and ran and ran and ran, and he reached the end of the forest. Now there was nowhere else he could go. He looked to his right, he looked to his left, he looked behind him, and there was the king and his men. Kalya Danu was trembling. What to do? In front of Kalya Danu was a tree, a tall, tall tree. And Kalya Danu did the only thing he could do. What did he do? He climbed up the tree. But as he climbed up the tree, Kalya Danu was a monster. He had pointy teeth. He pulled out his teeth and put it in the bark of the tree. As he climbed up, he kept pulling his teeth, putting on the bark of the tree. And up the tree he went, and he sat down. The king and his men came. They tried climbing up the tree, but could they climb? No. Because Kalya Danu's teeth were so sharp, they were punching holes in their palms. So Kalya Danu remained on top. The king and his men remained down. Kalya Danu would not come down. The king couldn't go up. Finally, after a few days, the king and his men went. But they say that Kalya Danu to this day sits on the top of that tree. Can you identify what tree this is? Which tree has those spikes in the bark? No, not banyan. No. What color flowers it has? It bears flowers.
Red color.
Red color. It's called the Semel tree.
Salman.
Shalmali, Semel, Kapo,
Kate Sawar.
red silk cotton. This is the story about the red silk cotton tree. How did you like the story? Why do you think they were telling these stories? And this is not a story that I made up. It is a real story that comes from Orissa. Why were they telling these stories? Think. Why were they telling this? And to whom do you think they were telling this story?
Either to propagate a moral or to set some boundaries. Like in the village, when the children being stored in the village, if you go and after 6 in this place, there are monsters or something. To put a little bit of boundary, whether it's physical boundary or other boundary.
Warning? You think warning?
It was probably for artisans to know the historical legends and the historical background of certain. Yeah.